welcome. I'm Tommy Host, and this is the DROPCAST Movie Poster Podcast Interview Edition. This format is part of the Instagram blog Drop, and you can find us under @DropMakeOfficial. We do reviews, news, and interviews that all have to do with the film business. Today, I have finally the chance to talk to the man of many faces, which all look very handsome. He knows his art, and he can do accents, and he has the best swear words in the business. Matt Griffin, everybody. So stay tuned, head over to our Instagram profile @DropMakeOfficial to follow along with the art we are talking about, or check us out on YouTube for the video version. And now, let's get started. Welcome, Matt. How you doing, man?
Hello, Tom. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm always I always like to hear you talk. By the way, you have the smoothest voice. You're like it calms me down. You know.
It's like chocolate.
Exactly.
Or Guinness.
Or
I don't know. I like everybody else. I hate the sound of my own voice, so it's nice to hear someone else likes it.
No, you're doing fine. I really love to hear you talk. You should do audiobooks. That's my thing. You should do that, definitely. To start out, I mean, we had you on the show before. You presented your beautiful Paul piece for the book cover. You did, and that was screen printed by Bottleneck and separated by the good old Matt Ferguson. And that turned out really well, and thank you for the insight on that one. That was really cool to see. And as I promised to everybody, we're going to have you back and have you on for a long version interview. Back then, when we did this, I did not know that you were also like a freshman to the alt movie poster scene. You've been fairly new, but you have quite a community around you, I would say, and it grows basically every day. People sent in questions yesterday, so we will come back to those, I guess, during the podcast. And but to start out, I prepared a little speed round. And so the speed round goes kind of like this. I have 10 words for you. You're going to give me your association with this kind of word. It could be like your favorite thing. For example, if I say Simpsons, you say Homer or something like that, or dough, or whatever comes into your head with this word. Okay. Here we go. And do it fast. Not just give me one word or maximum one sentence. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Here we go. Color.
Green.
Character.
Darth Vader.
Author.
Tolkien.
Actor.
My brother Luke.
Actress.
Oh shit. I don't know. Pass.
Pass. Okay. Director.
Director. Kubrick.
All right. Tool.
Tool. Hammer.
Book.
Lord of the Rings.
Sports team.
Brentford.
And last but not least, swear word.
Fuck.
All right, there you have it, people. By the way, talking about swear words, I just watched the other day. I watched the history of swear words with Nicolas Cage on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Where they explain all the swear words, and yeah, they said fuck is the most used word in the English language when it comes to swearing.
It's an amazing word, and apparently also linked to intelligence. So if you curse a lot, it's a sign of intelligence, and I'm taking that and I'm running with it.
Yeah, all right, I'll take it as well. Yeah. I have to say I was they had like on a different show about cursing. I think it was shit when they talked about shit that you have like when it comes to pain, that you can like have this kind of pain like withstand it longer. Or it would be like a better relief if you curse, and that was like really interesting. It makes sense. I mean, everybody's doing it. Like when you hit your toe, or something like that on the corner of your couch.
It makes total sense, and I hope my lovely wife Orla watches this and understands why it is that I scream curses in front of our young children when I hurt myself. That it's not, a flaw in my character.
It's definitely
me it's pain management.
Pain management, exactly. Okay, so the speed round is done, and we are going into some of your property that you created, and that means I will talk about 3 different ones that we examine a little bit and get you warmed up to what's going to come. So the first one I want to talk about is the Endling project, and I picked your illustration where we can see three characters from that story. Doran, Koa, and the War Dog, and it's a very cool piece, and it's a very cool design in terms of Koa. And how did you come up with the idea for it, and how did it all start?
So the Endling and Koa are part of a really vast story concept I have that is it's so big that I haven't been able to actually really properly get anywhere with it, because it's knowing where to start with it is really tough, because it's to do with multiple universes and two characters, Doran and Koa, who are basically able to be them in an infinite multiverse. So first you have to accept the fact that in an infinite multiverse, every single variation, every possible outcome of events happens in an infinite multiverse, right? That's one of the physical properties of an infinite multiverse. That's in real physics, that there's a finite amount of particles and they can rearrange in nearly countless different ways, but because they're finite, they will repeat. And so there's a version where I'm interviewing you in an infinite multiverse.
Yeah.
You get me?
Quick question on that. How much research did you do on that, or did you have a degree in physics?
No, just I love reading about it, but I don't understand it most of the time. So like I'll read about physics, really fascinated, and then as soon as I close the book, it's gone. Poof. But the stuff that sticks, I guess, is the stuff that might serve us a story. So I did a good bit of reading and research on, because I wanted whatever kind of magic there is to be grounded in reality and real physics. And it's sort of based on a real physical theory about multiverses. So that's a really long, boring part of it over. The fun part is that I took two characters, a boy and a girl, Doran and Koa, and after a time, they find they're able to be the other versions that exist in this infinite multiverse. Now, because it's infinite, I can have any genre, any story, any type of setting I want. Yeah. Because Earth has evolved in every possible imaginable way. And one of the ways it evolved was this world of the Endling, where Japanese feudal society is kind of the dominant form throughout the Earth. It's kind of a little bit post-apocalyptic, as in the air is toxic and you can't breathe it, so they have to wear these helmets and masks.
Quick question though. There's this Netflix animated short movie. I don't know. It's like I think 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or something like that, or 20 minutes even. It's like really short. I don't know if you've seen it, but it has like also this samurai kind of character. But she's also a woman, but she's driving a car through a desert. It also reminded me a little bit of that.
I have not seen it. No, I haven't seen it. But the thing is, that was part of my problems with this, and why I kind of stopped developing it for a while, because I wanted the Endling to be a graphic novel, and I was going to write a novel based on another reality, and the two collide. So you can read either in whichever order, it doesn't matter. They'll meet and they'll intertwine, and regardless of what order you read it in. So I started writing the draft of the graphic novel for the Endling, which is what my intention was to be. And I even set up a Patreon at the time, but I had to close it because, firstly, I just didn't like what I was writing. It wasn't new enough. And there's a perfect case in point in that. There's a Netflix show that's like it. I mean, nothing in the Endling story that I'm talking about there is particularly groundbreaking. It's all, been done.
I just meant not the story wise. I just meant more of what the looks are.
Oh yeah, I mean totally. Yeah, I mean I guess we're drawing from the same well as well, But like I started writing the first draft, and there was a very Running Man element to it. So the Endling is on the run from her former masters, and the former masters send out their best assassins together, but they televise it.
Yeah.
and the assassins are all sponsored by various corporations. And there's this corporation called Three Moons, which actually comes up again and again in all of my work. You'll see it in all kinds of things, from the 3D cars I made to, you'll just keep seeing it pop up.
It's your basically your A113, like Disney Pixar's doing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So there's all kinds of connections to my whole portfolio, like even the giants come in, the Comet Riders. It was a way to bring it all in. And this is a very long-winded way of saying I started writing the first draft of the graphic novel, and I just felt this is ground that's been trodden before, and I don't want to trod it again. So I kind of scrapped it. I loved the images, some of the images I've made. I like the designs. I think there's still potential there, but I've just stopped working on the story side until I have that sort of eureka moment where it's very new.
What was it in terms of the design? Did the design come first and then the story, or was it the other way around? Or how did you come up with all the details for the character?
So I started with the premise of the infinite multiverse and the two characters who can traverse it, basically. And that one of them will bring about the end of all existence, and the other will try and save it. Again, probably a bit of a stereotype, but or a trope, they'd call it. So I started there. Yeah, I mean, look, we're all. I think all storytelling is tropes. To be honest, it's the hero's journey. It's the same on every story. So I started there, and I started developing Doran's story, in which Koa is also a part. And then I just started dreaming up these other variations of worlds they could live in. And I had about 5 or 6 ones that I started developing fully, but the one that I drew the most for was the Endling, just because I really loved her character. I guess I wanted to draw someone who I thought was ultra cool. So I like motorcycle helmets, I like gas mask look, I like samurai helmets, so I put the samurai horns on. Everybody loves a katana, so she has a katana.
Are you can you ride motorcycles? You do that, or?
Can I what?
Can you ride motorcycles? Do you have like driving license?
No. I love motorcycles, but I just not now that I have kids and stuff. Too dangerous.
But do you used to, or?
No, like scooters and stuff like that. And I had a really nasty crash on a scooter once, and I said, that's it, I'm done. So no, I just love drawing them.
Okay, so not like other people we know that love to ride scooters and get into crashes, right?
That would be, yes, Mr. Griffiths, who basically on a daily basis said I've been in another accident.
Exactly. Shout out to you, Gareth, man.
Yeah, shout out to Gareth, big time. But anyway, it was kind of an amalgamation of story development and also what looks cool. And then the crow part, so Doran, you'll see, is the name of the crow, but Doran is also the name of the other boy who can traverse the multiverse. And that comes into it too, whether the crow is actually talking or whether it's just the Endling hearing the crow talk. And then War Dog is her faithful kind of guardian. And I came up with the name War Dog before I saw as a Black Panther. The War Dog's in it. So disclaimer there before anyone says, sure, he stole the name War Dog. I didn't. I came up with that name before I saw the movie. And it's just do not fuck with War Dog. So that's it. It's a story I will tell someday. But for now, I just love doing the drawings. And I think she's cool.
Okay. Where do you draw your inspiration from? Like when you're moving on, just doing the drawings on that?
So for the Endling specifically?
Could be for the whole story as well, not just the Endling.
Yeah, I guess all kinds of stuff. Like I'm a Star Wars kid, like so many of us, and it's so down and dirty and gritty and junky. That was part of the appeal of Star Wars. Everything's covered in dust and sort of falling apart. So that definitely comes into it. I think you could probably see an Endling type character, maybe without the lightning bolt and stuff. In a Star Wars universe, there's a fairly heavy influence there. Also, my wife doesn't buy a lot of fashion mags, but if sometimes you see ads for with the model standing in them, and they have a really cool pose, And I always look at that and I think that would just look so cool if she had a katana and a helmet with a gas mask and samurai horn sticking out of it. So that can play a role.
Yeah,
Um,
that's 2020 and 2021 fashion for you. The gas mask and
yeah,
the
there
helmet.
you go. There you go. Yeah, you never know. So all kinds of stuff, really. Then I have daughters. I have two girls and a boy now as well. But I didn't have a son when I was making the Endling. And all of my heroes, from knights to the Endling, to the books I wrote, girls are always the heroes, and they always kick ass. They're never kind of accidental heroes, or I like to write strong female characters because I got a couple of daughters that I'd like to inspire to be cool and strong. So that is another reason for the fact that she's a kick-ass girl. And I don't have any images of Doran being all cool and heroic wearing a sword. Just Koa so far.
Okay, cool. I like it. And yeah, moving on to our next one. I wanted to talk about. I don't know if we should. Do you want to include your Dune 84? Because I mean, you have talked a lot about it, but we could definitely include it if you want to. But I also have another option for that one.
Whatever you want, Tom. Yeah, I'm cool talking about whatever.
All right, I'm just gonna mix it up, and we're gonna do 4. How about that?
Mix it
So,
up in there.
your beautiful Dune piece. It's shipping out right now as we speak. Maybe next week when this comes out, people will already have one, like some few, but we will see. The story. Let's hear it one more time. Let's get teary eyed and let's talk about
I don't know.
all the good stuff.
So how did that start? Chatting to Matt Ferguson,
Of course,
and
that's
I
how
think
most things start.
yeah, I can't remember if he might have said what would be an ultimate property for you to do, or he might have said we have this property. I can't actually quite remember. But either way, it would have been a dream property for me because Dune, the Lynch film, was my intro to Dune. And as we know now, I suppose that Dune plays a large role in my career.
Indeed.
But so the film was first, and it was like a family favorite. My dad loves it, and my brothers, and I would have grown up watching Dune all the time. We could quote it endlessly to each other from start to finish. So I always loved the film, and that was what made me read the book when I was a little older, when I was about 12 or maybe 13 or so. So it's a big film for me, definitely a major one. And so whether it was me who said, could I do Dune, or whether Matt said, we have Dune, I can't remember. But either way, it was like, oh my God, yes. And so I went off and I did my rough sketch, and I sent it to Matt, and he loved it. And he, as always, we worked together, art direction. He would claim he only did a tiny amount, saying make the type thinner, but there was definitely more involvement in that. And it took a long time to work on, actually. Now, I didn't work on it solidly all the time. It was dribs and drabs, but it took the best part of a year to get it to separate it into the screen printer. Easily a year. And I think that's the longest time I've ever put into one piece of art. And I definitely wanted to make it my best to date piece,
Yeah, and definitely up there. I can tell you. How did your family, since it means so much to them, how did they receive the print?
Yeah, they love it. They absolutely love it. So I'm hoping to keep an AP for my dad, and although he has nowhere to put it, but he'll have to find somewhere. And yeah, I think that'll be a very nice feeling, saying, look what I did after all our years of loving the movie. Now here's an official licensed poster for it. Kyle MacLachlan actually shared it as well on his social feeds, which was deadly, really cool. Someone yesterday on Twitter said, I wonder if David Lynch seen this, and it's like, you know what, I don't think he wants to see anything related to that film. But Kyle MacLachlan shared it. That was awesome, and the family love it. Yeah, they're delighted I got to do it, I guess.
When are you going to show the movie to your kids?
Yeah, actually, to my oldest is 9, and she's not far off it now because there's nothing very unsuitable in it. And I've started. I'm molding her in my image. My second daughter has no interest in that kind of stuff. She loves Baby Yoda, but has no interest in Star Wars.
Eh.
Whereas the oldest girl, uh, I had her watching Labyrinth and The Dark Crystal and Neverending Story at a very young age, The Goonies. Then recently, I showed her Legend 2 nights ago, and she loved that.
Yeah.
And then last night, she was watching the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings animated film
Yeah.
and loving
Classic.
that. So I'm totally, she has no chance. So Dune will be soon, defo. Yeah, I think she's definitely nearly ready for that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna move on to our next sprint, and it's gonna be silent running. You did for Vice Press, and there were 2 different variants, and I think I chose the regular one, the with more green in it.
Oh yes, that's the
And
right.
yeah, it's a beautiful piece, and I think it is an amazing movie. And how did this come about? Did you want to do it, or did you just get tasked? Yeah, I like the movie, or how was this?
No, I absolutely love the movie. More people should see that film. You'd be amazed at how few people or how many people say I've never seen the movie. It's such a classic.
Yeah.
Amazing sci-fi movie, really thoughtful, makes you think. It's brilliant. So the Vice had that license because Matt had done one, and Raid had done one, 2 amazing posters. And I think Matt just said, "Do you want to do Silent Running?" And I said, "Yeah, 100%." That was my first Vice poster, actually. I think Silent Running. I think that came before Dune. I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah, it must have been a little bit before.
Yeah. So I just jumped at it. He said, "Do you want to do one?" And I was like, "Absolutely, 100%." So same as ever. Here's my concept. He said, "We like that. We don't like this." I think the early version didn't have the ship, and then towards later on, I stuck it in, and apparently the licensor really liked that, the studio or the estate. So that went in, and yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It's I don't know if I think Silent Running, because so few people have seen the film, you're hoping people buy it for the art rather than you know,
Yeah.
you get a lot of people saying I haven't seen it. So everybody listening should go out and watch Silent Running and then buy the 3 prints available for Raid and me.
Exactly. Yeah. I will have 2 of them.
Ah, there you go.
So yeah, that's it's I still this yours should come at some point, and I have the Raid one already, but I didn't get the Ferg, but I got the little droids.
Very good. Yeah, they're class. That's such a great film, and I was really pleased with that poster too. I must say, I do like it. I like the variant a little bit more, I think, but I like them.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and the last one I want to talk about is this beautiful alien piece you did for Bottleneck Gallery. This is, I think the concept is so good. I really love it. And yeah, how did this come to your mind?
So it's from a few years ago, and the Poster Posse invited me as a guest to.
That's how it works. Okay.
To make a couple of pieces for an Alien anniversary, and I made 2, and one of them I hope is burned and deleted off the entire internet, never to be seen by anybody.
I will check. I will check for
it.
Because you know I am with the Poster Posse, right? You know that.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah,
no, I did not realize that. No, one of them. You see, Alien is another big film for me because it was my first 18s film.
Yeah. Okay.
R-rated film, and I was 7, so I was the age of my second daughter now, and my oldest brother was babysitting me, and he didn't know what to do with me, and said, "Here, just watch this." And I was like, "Are you sure it's 18s? I don't know if I should watch this." He's like, "You'll love it," and it was Alien, and I was 7 years old, and it blew my mind. I absolutely loved it. Probably says, that's a big reason maybe the way I am the way I am, but. I loved it. So big film.
How did you handle the chest busting at this age?
I loved every second of it, all of the film. I loved it, and I still do. And it's one of those I can watch and rewatch a million times. I'll never tire of it.
Yeah.
So Poster Posse, good few years ago, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago,
Hmm.
asked me to be a guest, and I did two, but I put a lot of pressure on myself because I was like, this is Alien, it has to be amazing.
Hmm.
And the two pieces I did, I think, are shit.
Okay.
And one of them is really bad execution,
Yeah.
just yuck. And then the second one was this concept, but I just didn't like the way I executed the concept, and that was the xenomorph Jaws with the tunnel and Ripley at the end of the tunnel with the flamethrower, and really liked the concept. And actually, at the time, I think Matt Ferguson saw that and said, "This is really cool." He's always kind of maintained that he likes that original the way I did it. I don't. I've never liked it. It looks like a sketch to send off to someone to say, "This is my concept, not a finished thing." So as you working over the years, you get better at your craft, right? Naturally. So I'm now much better technically than I was back then, and I can do more stuff. So because I love the concept, I said, you know what I'd love to do is go back to that and make that knowing what I know now, with the abilities I have now, apply it to that idea, because the idea I really liked. And Matt said go for it. They don't have the license, but Bottleneck do. And so I approached Joe and he said go for it. And then I worked it up, and I think I made it an infinitely better poster than the original, that's for sure. And it still has the concept.
Great. Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I don't know if you have seen the little teasing of James Hobson for his Alien piece. He's turning in for the book for the Printed in Blood book for Alien.
I saw the full thing, and it's.
Oh, you saw it? Okay, good. Yeah,
brilliant.
I saw it too. It looks.
It's his best. It's the best thing he's done now, I think.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Really, really good. Shout out to James, because that is a super piece of art.
Definitely, it blew me away as well. I was like, yeah, that's going to be the cover. That's what I said, and yeah. So.
Hopefully, yeah, it's definitely worthy of a cover. It's a brilliant piece.
All right. Okay, so this is for the ones I was talking about. I could talk hours of more cool posters you did, so I have plenty of images. So I had to pick though,
All right.
because I want to move on a little bit and talk about you as a person. How did you? Since I said you're a person of many faces, you've done a lot of stuff, different stuff, from illustration to crypto art to illustrations again, and then some more screen printing, and then here and there and everything. And you do it all very well. So I was wondering, how did it all start? Did you start out like at a university? Like what did you study?
Well, no, I'm a college dropout.
Oh, there you go. Kanye.
Twice, two-time college dropout.
Kanye as well, so all good.
Yeah. I've never been very good at receiving education. I don't like being taught. I married a teacher, so it drives her up the wall. But I even in school, like I was a terrible pupil in school. I was an awful messer. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like I was decent at art, so everybody assumed I would go on to art college, and I totally rebelled against that and said, no, I'm not doing it just for the sake of it. And ended up doing a course I had no real interest in. Well, some interest in. It was philosophy and psychology, so I liked the philosophy part, but not so much the psychology. Dropped out, like worked in a newsagents or something, and then eventually went to art college, a really good art college in Dublin, Dunleary. But it was fine art I was studying, and again, I wasn't suited to it. I partied way too much. That's pretty much all I did. And at the end of first year, they failed me, but they said, you're going to be the first person ever in the history of the college to be guaranteed a place to repeat the year. So normally you'd have to reapply with a whole new portfolio and all that kind of stuff. And they said, you're in if you just knuckle down and stop messing. Yeah. And I said, no, you're grand. I'm off to Australia. And I ended up working on building sites and stuff in Australia instead. I guess at the time, what I didn't realize was I'm not a fine artist. I'm a graphic artist. I don't think there really should be too much of a distinction, because I can go off and make very kind of interpretive art that means a lot to me, which crypto actually is granting me now these days. But I'm not a painter on canvas or a sculptor or that kind of stuff. I like using computers. I find it fun.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I spent my 20s messing more, but ended up working in the media first for Sky Sports, and then for Channel 4 Music. And the Channel 4 Music thing was kind of another dream of mine, because I'm a big music fan, and I always kind of wanted to be the guy at the back of the gig with the notepad and pen, taking notes, as a journo or an A&R guy or whatever. And I got to do that, and I interviewed a lot of pop stars and musicians.
Who
But
are
it
we
wasn't.
talking? Who are we talking?
Huh?
Who are we talking? Like in terms of the media?
Well, my first was Sean Ryder from the Happy Mondays.
Okay.
That was a disaster because he told me to fuck off. So I ended up talking to Bez instead from the Happy Mondays, who was really, really sound.
Yeah.
That was my very first experience of walking up to someone famous with a dictaphone and saying, "Hi, a few words for Channel 4, fuck off." All right, okay. Excuse my French. Actually, it was Sean Ryder's French, so excuse his French. And then over 2.5 years, there was loads. I was at all the award shows on the red carpets.
What was
I
your
was one of those guys in the scrum trying to get people's attention.
What was your favorite?
Um, I interviewed Alice Cooper, and the rule was the more famous you were, the better you were to interview,
Yeah.
because they're professionals.
Okay.
So Alice Cooper could come, and it could be his 20th interview, but he's still incredibly polite, answers the same questions that he's had all day, and moves on. Thank you very much. Whereas the new guys, the guys that were top of the charts but
Yeah.
would soon disappear from everybody's radar, were absolute dickheads. I mean, there was guys out there. I nearly got in rows with fellas on red carpets because they were so rude. And it's because they were famous in a heartbeat, and then it would fade away. And I would tell them that too. I'd say in 15 minutes, no one's going to remember your name. Anyway, that's another story. It was great, but it wasn't creative. It wasn't, I just wanted to draw. And my boss at the time, thankfully, kind of nurtured that. He had me doing T-shirt designs and all kinds of stuff. And then eventually in 2008, I just took the plunge. I said, look, I'm quitting. This was all in London, by the way. I was living in London. And I just quit and moved home to be a full-time illustrator. And I had a terrible portfolio of really bad work. And the global crash happened about a month after I came home, and there was no work anyway, let alone hiring someone with 5 examples of absolute tripe in his portfolio. So it was a tough start, and I just kept plugging away and doing the odd job for 200 quid, doing drawings for someone's menus in a local bar. Then bit by bit, really, really slowly, a job once every 6 months for 500 euros became once every 2 months. And then gradually more and more and more happened. And then I think maybe the catalyst was I got this job for Whelan's, a venue in Dublin. And the art I did for that just opened loads of doors for me. And then again, slowly, like it was still hard yards, infrequent work. And then bit by bit, we started getting more in demand and getting more and more clients. And then it just sort of took off.
When was the point when you started transitioning from doing those jobs that paid a bill or paid the bills to jobs you actually enjoyed, like doing a Dune poster?
Like that's fairly recent, really. Like I've been a commercial illustrator. I'm still working on commercial projects now, but the beauty of the guys at Vice and the guys at Bottleneck taking me, into the fold is that I can now do less of the commercial stuff. So I guess I'm really lucky that now I'm in a position to say I'll do the commercial book cover job if I really love the book or I like the project. But I don't have to take every single one that comes in. Whereas before I did, and more and more and more and more were coming in, but I couldn't say no to anything. So I'd end up, I think last year at one point I had 13 commercial jobs on at once. And, so you're juggling 13 different images, 13 different clients, all this kind. It was madness. So thankfully,
I know this kind of moment when I had like, I think I had like, in 1 week I had 6 different interviews.
yeah,
That
okay.
was fun.
You see, it's mental. That
Yeah.
too much spinning plates. So, yeah, it's only in the last year or so that I can do that, and so the future is looking more like I can do more in the print realm, which is a lot more fun. And then also starting to work a little bit more in film and TV development, which is very infrequent. You wouldn't want to rely on it for if you needed, I need to get this invoiced now because I need money, because it can go on for months. But it's really fun, so I'll be doing a bit of that. And a little bit of this crypto art thing, we'll see how that goes. And then the odd commercial job. So it's in a really good place at the moment. And I have loads of prints lined up. So
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of legs that you can stand on and have some sort of safety at least, and I think that's good in our situation, like everyone's situation worldwide. So,
oh, definitely. Yeah, I was very, very lucky. It didn't affect my work at all. So,
yeah,
my studio's down here. I'm on my own. So even during lockdown, I can come down here, and I've just worked every day regardless. So it's I've been extremely lucky, Tom, from that point
that's
of view.
great. That's great. Yeah, since I do also movie reviews and TV show reviews on my show, on my podcast here, I wanted you to know, what is the last movie that you, or TV show that you've seen?
The last movie, kind of significant big release would have been Tenet.
Okay.
My son bought it on Apple TV. He's one, so he bought it by mistake.
Okay.
But so I watched it, and
And
I'm gonna watch it another couple of times before I make my final
okay.
judgment,
What's the
because
first impression though?
I didn't like it. I think Nolan's a genius, obviously, and I think in this he had an unbelievable concept that was just too hard to make a coherent story out of it. So it was a valiant attempt, but it wasn't coherent. But like I say, I've heard people say it's better the more you watch it. I can see that it could be better the more I watch it. So I'll give it another shot. But initial first reaction was thumbs down, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Um,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
a TV show, I just watched season 2 of The Boys, which is
Okay.
unbelievable.
Except the
Uh,
accent, huh?
Except the accent. His accent is awful, but he is so good. Like, he's such a good actor. And when he looks sideways at someone, it's like, oh my God, he is menacing.
Yeah.
But his like, they should just have played him as a Kiwi, just change the character so he's not Cockney. He's a Kiwi. Carl, do your normal natural accent. Everything else is perfect, because sadly he cannot do a Cockney accent, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that. I mean, I can't hear the difference. For me, it's
You
fine,
see,
but
most of the world can't hear the difference, and no one cares. But so maybe from that point of view, it's like that. Did you hear all the kerfuffle about this film about Ireland? It's set in Ireland, starring
Christopher
Emily
Walken?
Blunt.
No. Is it? No,
Oh,
no.
it's like, I can't remember the name of it, but
Oh, this new
talk
one
like leprechauns, like
with,
this.
with John Hamm?
Yes.
Oh,
he is in it.
yeah. Yeah. Some with the ranch or something like that. I don't know. But I know what you're talking about.
It's atrocious, right? It's like
Uh-huh.
everybody talks like leprechauns in it. But the thing is, what they and the filmmakers pointed out, said, there's only 4 million of you in Ireland that are laughing at it. The rest of the world and all of the American market where this is aimed don't know any different in the accents. So we don't care. And you're like, you know what? Fair enough. Off you go. But it's a comedy here in Ireland, and it's a drama everywhere else.
Yeah, that's sometimes how it is. I mean, that's what I have, like, when I hear the German accents, and they try to do like actually be German.
Yes.
It's like, well, dude, why not get a German actor who could do this one-liner?
This is it, exactly. And well, the Irish one got a lot of stick because Jamie Dornan is Irish, albeit Northern Irish, so he'd speak with a Northern Irish accent. But the fact that he couldn't do a Southern Irish accent is also, that's, quite laughable. But anyway,
Well,
look,
I couldn't do a Bavarian accent perfectly.
Really?
Fair
Give it a
enough.
go there, Tom. Go on, do your Bavarian.
No, I'd rather not. Behind the scenes, I try to mess around sometimes with some sort of English accent. I'll try to to do when I'm talking with James Hobson before we do the podcast. We're just messing around, and but I'm just gonna spare this for the viewers out there. I don't want to offend anybody. I just stick to my German American accent. So, okay. Next question. Yep. What is a must-see movie, TV show that you're really looking forward to in the next couple of months?
This is going to be so obvious, but it's Dune, the new Dune movie.
Well, when is it coming out now? Was it in August?
Isn't it they're releasing the HBO Max, are releasing everything as well?
Yeah. But when is it coming out this year? Is it at the end of the year as well?
Towards the end of the year.
Okay.
So... yeah, it's very boring for someone like me to say Dune, but I can't wait.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Look what he did with Blade Runner was perfection.
Arrival.
Yeah, so I think it's in really good hands.
I think so.
Some of the production design looks a little bit boring to me from the trailers and the stills, but I don't think you can tell until you watch the whole film.
Yeah. And something more recent that you're really looking forward to?
Something that's coming up sooner?
Yeah.
Like, is anything coming out because of COVID? Like,
I mean, all the streaming releases, and all the Oscar contenders are coming out. They have dates now. I think January. I think Nomadland is coming out.
Okay.
Which I was lucky to see, and oh my god, what a great
Is it good?
movie. It's really good. It's
wow.
I watched it basically like early on, like early January. And it was like, wow, that's like definitely. I mean, it made a couple lists for the people that the critics that have seen it last year, but I haven't seen it last year, so I'll put it on, and it comes out here in Germany, an official release this year, so it's definitely in the top 3.
Wow. Okay, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
There's not a film that's coming out; it's already out. And it's an animated movie, but it's Wolfwalkers, the latest in Cartoon Slim.
It made my list. It definitely made my list. I think it was number 8, I think, overall.
Brilliant. Yeah, you see, the thing is, it'll get nominated for an Oscar, because they always do, and it'll lose out to Pixar, because Pixar brought out Soul, and
which was also really good.
It's amazing. Soul is absolutely unbelievable. But Wolfwalkers, just my jaw hit the floor. And I have some skin in the game, only in that I'm working with the writer, but that I'm not biased in any way. This film literally made me gasp. Actually, I loved it.
Yeah, I also watched it with 3 other, with my girlfriend and 2 friends, a couple, and he's also a filmmaker. And and we all loved it. It was such a great movie. We kept talking about it for an hour afterwards, and it's like really fun with the themes that came in. I love this. I love the idea of the women, like when the scene comes up where she is like working all the different jobs she does as a maid. And, and like she was like complaining about it, and he's like, yeah, you should do this, stick to this. And I was like, okay. It was fun. Good stuff. Really enjoyed it. What is your favorite movie?
2001.
You have to name one. You can't say Dune. You can't say Alien. So, yeah.
No, it's 2001. It's 2001.
Okay, and would you love to make a poster for that?
I would love to make a poster for that. Yeah.
Okay, I think Mondo has a license. I don't know who else. So Mondo, get this guy a poster job.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Exactly.
I would love to make, but there's a couple of films where I fear making a poster.
Yeah, understandable.
So I love them too much that I've never even attempted to do a poster for Blade Runner or 2001.
How did you like the posters that came out for 2001 in the last year? I mean, we had the Murugaya one, which was totally different.
I love it, yeah.
We had the... I don't know, it was Kubrick. Who else had one? John Sebastian or Rosbach or whatever his name is.
Love that one.
That's really
big time. Love that one.
It made the list for the poster tournament. So yeah.
Yes, I think that could be. We don't talk about the poster tournament, by the way. I gave Dolly some stick over that. I went on Facebook and said I don't really rate your poster, and would a ring really cast a shadow like that? I don't
Yeah.
get it. And he knew I was taking the piss, but yeah, I really love the Rosbach. I love Murgaya as well, all of his stuff. And his Clockwork Orange and his 2001 they're just so different and fresh and beautiful. And I really love the Rosbach 2001. I think that could be my favorite so far of the alt posters. And then there's the famous
The original one that they made the lenticular of per bottleneck, or
no, I just have a mental block on the famous alt print for Mondo with the leopard.
yeah.
Purple one.
By Woodson, Ghost Co.
That's it, Ghost Co. Yes, Matthew Woodson. That is stunning.
Yeah, he just followed up where there's like his companion piece to it. Did you see that with the crater?
I saw
the
that
crater
with
scene?
the astronauts in the crater. Yes, I did. Yeah, amazing stuff.
Amazing stuff, amazing movie. I mean, it still holds up. I went to the Kubrick design at the design museum in London when I was there with my class on a class trip, and I took one of my students. He became an actor now, so it's like his first feature film, which sadly didn't release yet because of COVID, but it's his first debut, and I went with him, and we had like a really good time. So yeah, shout out Dohan, and yeah. He got inspired. He's always like, yeah, it's like good times. We had good times talking about movies, and like I remember,
Nice.
I still remember when he was like 15 or 14 or something like that, and like he was into movies, and then he asked me like, what kind of movie should I watch? That was always fun to recommend good
Where
stuff.
do I start? Get a pen. Write all this down.
Exactly. That's what he did. I gave him like 10 movies, all different kinds, and then he basically wrote them down, and then he watched them at home. Like actually, when he went to the video store, like back then, and like rented them, and then he rented them, watched them, and like crossed them off his list, and then he came like next week. He came. I need 10 new ones.
Brilliant.
So it was good times. It was fun. So, I mean, we answered all the other questions that I wanted to ask coming from this. How do you like the regular poster, and would you love to make a poster for that one? So we have some answers on this. But speaking of posters, what are your 3 favorite posters right now? Or it doesn't have to be 3, but what are your favorite posters right now that pop into your head that you really dig?
From the collectible.
Can be key art, can be collectible, can be alt, whatever. It's up to you.
I could be boring and say Ferg's Empire Strikes Back is one of the greatest posters ever.
The Matt Ferguson one, or?
Yeah, the Ferguson one. I've said it before many times on our group podcast thing, YouTube things we've done.
Yeah.
It's perfection. I think it's perfect. It's Star Wars. It's new. Nobody had done the chamber before. It's the perfect shape for a composition. Everything about it is just awesome. I have the Japanese variant.
Yeah, it's over there.
And I cannot wait to get it up on the wall. I just love it. So that would be my easy poster of the year.
I mean, he won the tournament, so.
Yes, yeah. We don't talk about the tournament.
It's like the Fight Club.
And for all of those who voted for Dolly's over mine, fuck you. No APs for you guys. None. No, I'm kidding. What other ones? Oh, man. Kind of put me on the spot there. Because I see, obviously, my day-to-day internet life is filled with all the art from my fellow artists, and I love them all. So it's kind of...
But I mean, let's keep it this way. It doesn't have to be favorite, but what pops in your head right now? I mean, it's like sometimes, you have like I couldn't say what my favorite song is, but I can tell you what I'm listening to right now a lot.
Yeah.
This kind of mentality.
I could tell you what my ISOs are.
Yeah, let's go.
Does that help? So sure. My number one is the Stan and Vince Jodorowsky's Dune.
All right, there you go. Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that poster.
So people, if you have the Stan and Vince, get in contact with this man. He has a piece he can offer. So.
Yeah, someone in my group when I said that, just took a picture of theirs on the wall. Yeah, I love it. I have it too. And I'm like, thanks, you know.
F you, man.
Yeah, yeah. And there is a variant, but it's not the variant I'm after. It's the regular. It's that candy type and everything. I just love it. Another one I really love is Gab's Alien. I think that's an unbelievable poster.
Yeah, it's the one with the. Is it the one with the face?
Ripley's face
Yeah.
and all the xenomorph stuff going on, and also anything those brothers do type-wise is always really interesting and amazing.
Yeah, I got the original Blade Runner with what's his face with Harrison Ford in the silhouette there.
Yeah, so if I'd love to get my hands on those. I'm only in a tiny little studio. I have no space, so I've got I can fit maybe 4 24 by 36.
All right.
And then the rest is, you know, I'm going to have to swap in and out, and I don't have a flat file yet, so I need a flat file, and I need some way of interchanging prints because there's too many I love.
I mean, 2021 is just started, and you know, I'm this has already happened when this comes out, but I do tonight after recording. I'm gonna have have a little dig through the flat file live on Instagram. So people picked a draw, and then I will open it, and then we're gonna dig into it and go through the posters.
That sounds like fun.
But
brilliant.
Yeah,
I need a flat file.
Yeah, interchanging and flat files is definitely something that's worth having. Or you could do the Baroque portfolio. Also, a very good choice.
Yes, that might be an option that's easier for me to get than getting a flat file in Ireland is impossible, basically.
Yeah, I mean, in Germany it was really hard too. I was so lucky to get this one, and it was like $100. It looked almost like new, and I just painted it black.
Wow, very lucky.
Yep, got lucky on that one. So I didn't think twice. I just I had to get it.
Yes, you did good.
Yeah. Okay. Any other you want to mention? Any other ISOs for the people out there to provide you with?
No, I mean, there's guys just doing unbelievable work, like Peter Diamond. I have Peter Diamond's Thin Red Line for Mondo.
Yeah.
I think his work is unbelievable. If I was to have one person, we did an Instagram live chat thing there, and I said it to him, but I've said this to him many times. If my books were to ever get a new edition, which you know would probably never happen, but if they were, my number one illustrator to do them would be Peter Diamond. I'm massive fan of his work and the person, I must say.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's gonna come on. I think it was late March or early March, somewhere around there. He's gonna be on a podcast as well. So.
Yeah, he's a great fella. So yeah, I love his Lord of the Rings. I Lord of the Rings would be a kind of a dream gig, but not the movies, the books. But I love guys like Peter and Killian Eng who did their takes. You know, it's not a literal interpretation of the movie's look. It's, you know, it's very much their own unique style in it. I love that big time.
Did you see the burning of the Lord of the Rings? I think it was.
No.
I forgot who it was. I think Dave something, and he, because like the first print job of the Lord of the Rings was pretty bad, and the printers messed up, and
Peter Diamond's one.
Yeah, and Peter Diamond's one, and then the people that already had it, they had to burn it, or they had to destroy it. But his wife decided to burn the print.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so they had like this bowl or whatever, and then they put it in there and like.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Yeah, I know. I had the decision once because the framer fucked up on my Matt Ferguson Jaws one, the one that is with the Dutch angle.
Oh yeah.
And he cut off the framer because like the frames. The standard frame size is 1 centimeter on each side shorter. It's 90 by 60 and not 91 by 61.
Okay.
And the framer said, yeah, he could do it, and then but he didn't tell me that he is gonna do like cut off some stuff.
Actually cut the print.
He cut it off. Yeah, he cut off on the side wood. Yeah, it's like it. When I went and he said it was done, I was like, yes, I was like super excited. I went back there. And then I looked at it and I was like, my heart sank into my stomach. I was like, no, I was about to cry.
He physically took a Stanley knife scalpel to a print and chopped it off.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But here it is. I have to say, I chopped off a couple of like prints when it is like, for example, for some frames because they were not fitting really because they were not perfectly 5x5 or whatever, or the frames were not 5x5, and then I cut off like a basically the edge of it, which is one color, just the paper, took it off just to make it fit. I think it's fair. It's fair.
Okay. Well, look, you own the object, so do with it what you will.
Yeah.
Make a coaster out of a 5x5 if you want to.
The problem is though, that the Ferguson print goes beyond, it goes all the way to the border. There's no room to do anything, so they cut off actual parts of the print.
Actual art.
And that was pretty bad. And then I talked to Mondo, not to Mondo, I'm sorry, to Bottleneck, and they would have replaced it for me. But I couldn't. Still, even after that, I couldn't like rip it apart. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. So you had to. Okay.
I would have
So
to.
place it, but you need to destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough stuff, I tell you.
Tough stuff.
But yeah, so favorite posters. Would you love to like to do one of the posters that you mentioned, or ISOs you have? Would you love to do a print as well if you haven't already? I mean, you have some of them, but
Yeah, well, I think I kind of have to do a Jodo's Dune at some stage in my life to complete the circle, because I've done the book, the Lynch film, well, I suppose the Villeneuve film as well.
it's gonna come. Don't worry.
I need to do everything Dune now, because someone again on Twitter there said, you shall henceforth be known as the Dune guy, and it's like, well, I'll take that, you know, that's nice. So I'd love to do that also because I love that documentary, and I would have loved to have seen that film get made. Let me think. Blade Runner is someday I have to do it because it's in my top 2 favorite films. So again, one I'd be scared to do, but I'll have to do it at some stage. Hard to kind of get a new angle on these things. You know, something like Blade Runner has been done so much. It's not that easy to come up with something very new and fresh, but I shall think of a way.
There will be.
There will be a way somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how big is your collection? I mean, can we say it's a collection or?
It's it's getting there. But it's not. It's like I'm not a huge collector. I'm like, because I'm friends with some of the guys, we might do a trade or a swap every now and again, or I've been gifted some stuff. The only thing I have at the moment on the wall is a Killian Eng from Grey Matter. I love Killian Eng. I'm a big fan of his.
Which one?
I can't remember what it's called, but it's the space dudes coming out of the floor in this kind of mat. I just love it.
I'm sorry, I have to say something. I mean, a lot of people are like they're really hyped about Killian Eng, and I'm not as. It depends on the property. For example, people were saying the Lord of the Rings he did last year is easily the best print of the year. Easily, that's what people are saying. But I said, not for me. I love his Galactus better than the Lord of the Rings, but still isn't my favorite one. But it was up there. But I mean, what do you love about Killian Eng so much? Like maybe you can like try to explain it to me, because I don't know if I don't get it or I just don't see it or.
Well, do you know what I don't? The Eng stuff I like. Not that I don't like it, but his movie poster stuff and commissions aren't the Killian Eng things that excite me. It's all the stuff he comes out with, his Tales from the Palace and these series of just scenes. Okay. And I just think...
Is it the idea or is it the style?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, both. He's definitely, like, he's kind of... There's a lot of Mobius in there. You know, you can see his influences, but it's instantly, you can look at a piece now and say that's Killian Eng. It's right up my street. It's that
Okay.
Mobius style stuff, these strange scenes from whether they be fantasy or sci-fi kind of thing. I mean, I absolutely love that. I would really like to do something along the lines of making prints out of my own little world like that. Yeah, I just really love his style. I think his work is amazing. So I got that a few years ago. That's the only one that's up. The rest are You're Going to Kill Me, and the Collectors Are Going to Kill Me. They're still in the tubes. But I don't have anywhere else to put them.
Sure.
I don't know whether, like, of my own stuff now, because I'm starting to get APs of my own. Will I put those up? I might put the Dune cover up because it's significant for me as an image. And the rest, while I like them, I don't know if they'll go up. Like I said, I don't have space.
Yeah.
But no, my long answer to a short question is I'm not much of a collector yet, but I'm becoming one, and I have a good few prints. Yeah.
Are you willing to go into actually like doing it via the galleries, or is it more like just in terms of trades and stuff like that?
You actually go in and start buying prints when the drops happen?
Yeah, something like that.
From what I can tell, it's very hard to actually get a print on a drop. Like, they're gone in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
If there's one I really loved, for Ferg's Empire Strikes. Oh no, that was timed edition. So I mean, anybody can get one of those. Sorry, I was about to say I scored one of those.
But the variant isn't.
All right, okay.
It was just the regulars.
Well, that might have been insider.
Insider trading.
niceties.
Insider trading.
Insider niceties. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's something I really loved came up. Like,
Okay.
if a poster where I just went, oh my God, that is stunning. I have to have it. Yeah, definitely get in for the drop, but I've no doubt that I wouldn't wouldn't pick one up. It's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
tough.
see it from the other side of people, say, oh man, it was sold out in seconds. I love seeing that when my prints go up. So I don't know if I want to experience it from the other side, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
I can totally understand. I failed on a couple prints in my career that I really loved, and I have to say I'm really bad at doing the aftermarket thing.
Right.
Even though I love the print, and it would be an ISO, but aftermarket, I think I bought like a handful of prints on the aftermarket.
So would this be eBay where they've marked them up hugely?
No,
The
no, no.
flippers?
It would be the groups.
Oh, well, that's okay, because there was kind of fair
Yeah.
sales and trades, right? They don't try and gouge anybody in those things.
Of course not. But still, I don't know. I have a weird feeling about it. I always try like to get them when they are
Fresh.
in the galleries, yeah, fresh and like the original ones. Maybe AP. APs are okay, but it's my take.
Yeah, well, APs are, I hope people love APs because that's what I got coming.
Yeah, I heard. People love APs. Don't worry. Especially, are they gonna come to you first, or are they gonna go straight to
Oh,
Ben?
you see, that is the thing. They go directly to Ben
Yeah.
at Uniquely Geekly, so my APs are not signed.
Okay.
But when the world comes back to normal and events like Thought Bubble are back on, I'll be there and I'll happily sign whatever anybody brings it over. So
If that
there's
happens,
I guess.
if that happens, I'm gonna be there too, man. We're gonna see each other in person for the first time.
Excellent. I really can't wait because I've been wanting to go for a while, and like you and loads of people, loads of mates, but we've never actually met. And I think the next Thought Bubble is going to be unreal because there's going to be a huge gang of people who've never actually met, and we're all going to go on the beer, and it's going to be epic.
Exactly. I'm gonna be the designated driver as always, so I'll take care of you
Okay,
guys.
that's good. Excellent. Good.
Okay. So we talked. Did you put a poster up lately, or?
Up on my wall.
Yeah.
No, like I say,
I figured.
because everything's closed. So I'm gonna get the Ferg Empire and my Dune cover framed to match the Eng, which is professionally framed. I can't clip them in and out; they're mounted and all that stuff.
Sure.
I'll get those two done, put them up, and then I'm gonna put my Peter Diamond up somewhere, and I have a few other bits and bobs here and there to stick up.
All right. But We can see a little bit of your office. I wanted to know what the rest of the office looks like. Is that what is in your office? Can you describe it, or can you just lean back so we can see a little bit of your desk behind you?
So, I wonder, can I take that webcam off and like walk
I don't
around?
know. You could, but the cable restrictions. Remember.
Ah, yes, there's a cable. And when I was on my phone before, I would have been able to walk around. I've got some pictures
It's
up
on
on
in your group, right?
in my group because it's kind of a new studio. Well, I moved in my summer, in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah. You keep talking, and I'll find the group pictures.
Okay, so I moved in. It's very, very small, but I like that because it's like a little hobbit hole, a very cozy place to come and create. And I recently went on a bit of a crazy equipment splurge and bought lots of upgrades because I've learned all new programs and techniques and stuff, and I needed all this new equipment because my old thing couldn't handle it. So right now the setup is, this is my Mac tower here, and that is where it was where I did everything. Like I start on the iPad, which isn't there, my iPad Pro, then I bring it into Photoshop and finish there. Now the computer I'm on at the moment is a custom PC for 3D, so it's got a really good GPU, and I can't get over it because I was rendering stuff on that and it would take like 40 minutes a frame for a 200 frames of animation.
I know how that works.
And this thing took the exact same animation that took 40 minutes a frame on that, took 2 seconds a frame on the new machine. So it's like, woohoo!
But by the way, Eileen just got a new iMac as well, and she told me that before, when she was she tried out, she mirrored the whole thing, so that she had them side by side, the old one and the new one, and the old one took like 5 minutes to open like this layer file she had in Photoshop, and then she did it on a new one. It was like 10 seconds.
Yeah, oh, it's amazing. It really is life-changing because we're working on these things every day, all day, and that kind of thing makes a massive change. It's like, it's so exciting. And then because I've been on Mac all this time and now I'm newly on PC, there's a lot of 3D software and stuff that only works on PCs that I've been able to get. So I've got all this new software. I got a new it's not a Cintiq, but it's the Hawaiian equivalent Cintiq and the ergotronic arm.
Okay.
And it came with a HDMI cable about that long. So I haven't been able to plug it in and have a go yet. I'm waiting for the new long HDMI cable to arrive in the post. So this is just sitting here, hasn't been turned on, got to have a go yet. So I got that. So I'm looking forward to playing with that. So this is my 3D machine, and also when I do animation, it's much quicker on this, rendering and After Effects and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I try it. So, okay.
The music corner, I see.
So that's my little. Hang on. All you can see is the monitor. Okay, there we go.
It's all good. It's all good.
So there, that's my print collection. So all the collectors are now like pulling their hair out, going, "No, you can't do that."
Yeah.
But they'll be framed soon. All of this is going to go. I'm going to sell that printer. I'm going to get rid of this, and that's hopefully where the flat file will go.
Exactly.
And then my little corner where I can play the guitar, and then all my I collect a lot of art books.
Yeah.
They're all there in the corner. So that's my favorite spot. I just don't get to use it that much.
I just pulled it up on the Instagram as well. So.
Okay, cool.
By the way,
Yes.
why your chair looks super uncomfortable? What's up with that?
This chair is unbelievably uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So this desk is a high desk.
Yeah.
And the only thing I had was this cheap IKEA stool, which is like rigid, hard plastic.
Okay.
And also my back is fecked from like 12 years of doing this drawing.
Yeah.
So it's really bad for me. So I need to upgrade that as soon as possible.
That's definitely something you definitely need to consider, because like you want to be healthy while working.
Yeah, and like I'm already crippled because I'm old, and because, like I say, I've hunched for 12 years. And my son now, he's really heavy and big for his age even. and my whole shoulder is in pieces from holding him. Like he's like a giant sack of spuds. You can't hold him for very long.
Okay. Okay, so we looked at your workspace. Now I want to get into a little bit more. What are you working on? Is there anything you can talk about? Some work in progress, maybe anything that you don't have an NDA on?
Yeah, so I just finished up a whole bunch of, or am in the very final stages of a whole bunch of client work. One of them would be the second, so I'm doing the covers for the new Dune trilogy written by Brian Herbert, son of Frank, and Kevin Anderson. So I did The Duke of Caladan was the first book, and that cover was revealed last year. And now I've just finished The Lady of Caladan. We're just waiting for final sign off. I don't think that's a big secret. So hopefully that'll be revealed soon. The other book cover I did, we'll probably say it's for Veronica Roth, who wrote Divergent series. So I've just done one for her. Let me see what else. I am working on a whole bunch of prints, and I checked this morning if I could talk about the next immediate one that I'm working on, and I can't. So we're going to keep stum on that for now.
Okay.
But yeah, so chatting with Joe at Bottleneck, and we have a list to get through. Oh, and I've been teasing out the fact that we're doing G-Clays of the interior illustrations from my Dune book.
Okay, cool.
So I've been teasing out those images. So that's February 3rd is the date we're looking at. And I don't know what the edition deal is yet.
Yeah.
I just know that they are G-Clays. They are standard framing size. I can't quite recall the exact size yet, but they are made to fit into standard frames you could buy on Amazon or whatever.
Okay. 18 by 24 is isn't that
yes,
standard size?
Two of them are 18 by 24, and one of them, the Chani one, is wide.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I'll put those up in the group as soon as so February 3rd.
Yeah, okay, people. Yeah, if you're not in a group, go head over to Facebook, Fans of Matt Griffin. You will find it there, and join the group if you enjoy the art that we presented you and enjoy this lovely person. Okay. Question is, how do you approach your project? Is it a certain way that you always go about, or is it different?
It depends on whether it's a commercial project, a print project. So for a commercial project, you get a brief, and the brief will say, let's say it's a book cover, here's the title, here's the synopsis, here's previous covers for this author's books, here's work of yours we like, here's an idea of what we're thinking we'd like to see, go. So you do your rough based on that, and then you finish it out. For a poster, the same way I do DVD covers for Arrow is I watch the film. Even if it's a film I've seen a million times before, you still need to watch it again with the poster process in mind.
Yeah.
And I will sit there with a little notebook and pen and draw indecipherable scribbles to everybody else, but to me they're just little notes of where things might go and little ideas.
Do you have those kind of sketches?
No, I don't think I've shared those. One sec, I could get them and hold them up to the camera. If
Sure. That would be great, because I think a lot of people would be interested in that. Or even if you, you're not sending out the artwork yourself, so this will be hard to get, because Matt just did the giveaway for the Empire Strikes Back, just like
All right. So I just did War of the Worlds for More Art.
Yeah.
And that's an example of, can you see that?
Yeah.
That's the type of thing I scribble because that was a book, the book license. So I'm reading the book and I'm scribbling this kind of stuff down. Then, so I did the Lady Killers as my Ignatius persona, Ignatius Fitzpatrick. I did the Lady Killers for Studio Canal. That's key art. And that is the type of thing I would do for Lady Killers.
Quick question: Why was it a different? Why did you use a different name?
Okay, so I sometimes make art in this kind of mid-century style, more cartoony kind of style.
Yeah.
And certainly as a commercial illustrator, you wouldn't have that sitting next to my cover for The Ring or for Candyman or something like that. It's too jarring. Like a client would go, "What am I getting? The nice mid-cent? Is he a cartoonist, or is he this horror illustrator?" So I like doing the mid-century stuff, so I created a pseudonym for that work, and that pseudonym is Ignatius Fitzpatrick.
All right.
And so there's a Twitter and Instagram with very few followers. Going to be hopefully doing some stuff with BNG as Ignatius.
What's the tag there?
It's
The handle.
fuck, I can't remember off the top of my head. At Ignatius Fitz.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Ignatius Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
So there's
pull it up for the people to see here. That's the Instagram handle. So
there's a website, ignatiusfitzpatrick.com. So I've done a load of stuff for Arrow. I've done stuff for Studio Canal. And also I'm going to be doing stuff with Bottleneck in that style. So expect prints for sale by this guy called Ignatius, who nobody knows who he is, but it's me.
there you heard it. You heard it here first, people.
Yeah, I know it's a bit weird. Like some people say, "Why do you do this? Why don't you just say it's all by you?" But my reasons were commercially orientated back in the day, and I've just stuck with it really.
Understandable. I like it. I mean, you got to play to your alter egos.
Exactly. Yeah, and I love creating alter egos too. So let me see. Old Boy. I did an Old Boy steelbook, and so there's the kind of sketches I do.
Odesu.
Yeah, and so on the back, I don't know if you can pull up. I should have sent you the actual art, but like there's the fist with the tentacles and the.
Yeah, you can see with the from the octopus he eats.
Yeah. So there you go. There's one for a Star Wars book cover, and
Hey, there you go. That's cool. Cool stuff. So yeah, people would want this. So I think you could sell each sketch for at least 100 to 50.
no way.
Yes, you could. I bet you
Why
could.
would people want my scribbles?
People
Don't
love
understand.
OGs and scribbles.
Yeah. Yeah, I did one as a joke in the Facebook group of someone. It's all this Baby Yoda stuff that's been happening in the
that's
group.
right.
I cannot draw cute. I can only draw scary. So my Baby Yodas are scary. And then I can't remember how it came about, but I drew Mando blasting Baby Yoda in his floating cot thing. And it was the worst drawing I've ever done. It was like, whoosh, here you go. And Gareth Griffiths adores it and has been asking me to send it to him ever since.
See, there you go.
Gareth, I don't know where it is. It's around somewhere. I promise I haven't thrown it out. But I don't get people wanting scribbles.
But they do. They do. don't deny them.
I won't.
But yeah, what would you say was the most challenging project you had so far?
Most challenging project. Do you know what? It's actually one that's not out yet.
Okay.
And I can't talk about what film it is, but it's a steelbook for Arrow. And it's a really cool film that a lot of people love. And the concept I came up with was really out there and unbelievably hard to pull off in terms of actually making the art. And I did it. I managed to do it and pull off the execution of this insane concept. And then it all got pulled because of the likenesses issue. It had likenesses, and they just decided rather than go down that road of trying to get the approvals from the actors, we just cancel it. So I had gone to final art, it was all done, and it was like, no, we can't use it. And it's a shame because, yeah, I really do think I managed to pull off this ridiculously hard thing to pull off. I think.
I mean, there's still the print option, and you could do like Stout. He did. I think you can do stickers, where you don't have to have the likeness approved. It's because that's what he did for his Terminator print, where Arnie's face is in the actual print. You can't really. It's like you can't see it's Arnie, but he made a sticker to go right on top of the print.
No way. That is so clever. Wow. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I don't know what, like, I think once it's out, this steelbook, once it's revealed with its design that we've gone for
Yeah.
instead, then I'll share in my group the one that was cancelled.
Okay.
And I
I'm
wonder will
excited.
people think I did pull it off. It was like a really, I liked it, but we'll see.
Okay.
So that was probably the hardest thing recently, yeah.
Sounds good. I wanted to know what kind of IP maybe you want to work on in the future. We had questions from your group. Ryan Gunning, he was asking, what kind of sci-fi films would you or do you want to do, or if there are any plans on doing that, and maybe other genres that you want to do.
Yeah, well, I definitely want to switch up the genres big time.
Mm-hmm.
So I love sci-fi, but I don't want to just be the sci-fi guy.
Yeah.
I love fantasy too, and so I want to definitely do some fantasy prints. I've been talking to Matt Ferg about potentials there. There's nothing, absolutely nothing set in stone, but I gave a list of potential titles that I could
Yeah.
do, and we'll take it from there. We'll see. James Henshaw might look into licenses. We'll see. But yeah, I'd love to do more fantasy stuff, for sure.
But speaking of James Henshaw, while we're recording today, it's his birthday.
It is his birthday. Happy birthday, James.
Yeah.
Many happy returns.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Speaking of projects, you and I, we talked about something. I don't know if you want to tease it or not.
Yes.
Like the idea we were going for. So I'll leave it to you to tease a little bit.
Okay. Well, this was your idea.
It was, but
And I, as soon as you explained it to me, I absolutely fucking loved this idea. And actually, I've been thinking about it constantly ever since.
great.
So, how to tease it? Right. Imagine me creating a story universe, a sandbox, if you will, from scratch, but directed by the lovely people in my community on the Facebook fans group, in my new Discord, whatever it might be, to be decided.
Exactly.
But the deal is that I'm gonna come up with the name of this, and it's fantasy is the genre because I want to draw some fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're literally starting with a blank page, and we're gonna design the protagonists, the characters, the villains, the monsters, the animals, the absolutely anything you can dream up, the weapons, the whole kit and caboodle. And we're gonna do the sketches for the stuff live with feedback happening from the viewers,
Exactly.
telling me what it is they want to see and what ideas they've got, and I'm going to do my sketches based on what we're hearing. And then from that, I'll take those ideas, make some more finished art, and then we might do some prints or something like that. But the deal is, it's a sandbox, fantasy sandbox that we're starting from scratch with you guys
Exactly.
helping out. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got it perfectly right. That was what I was going for, and you are on board. So I'm really happy that you're on board,
Yes.
and I think that could be something really cool, especially for all your fans out there. You can be part of something big. Maybe you can help make it big, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And how about you be the art director to some extent?
Yes, exactly. Don't go too hard on me. Don't ask me to put in any bicycles. There are no bicycles in this fantasy world. Don't ask me to draw crowds. No, but we're just going to start from scratch, and the beauty of it is it's completely empty. So it's a fantasy realm, but it's devoid of anything yet. But we're going to start filling it up slowly but surely, bit by bit, and it's going to be directed by you guys, and it's going to be loads and loads of fun.
Yeah.
We're going to do it live
On
with
YouTube.
you helping me out until we figure out the rest.
That's how we will do it. Exactly. Okay. So now I'm coming to my favorite question. I always like this because this is my goal for 2021. I've been talking about this in different interviews before that I want to make a book out of this question basically. So first I'm going to give you the question: which classical artist would you like to see make a film poster. And what movie or franchise would it be?
Straight away, Francis Bacon.
Francis Bacon, Sir Francis Bacon.
Francis Bacon, and the obvious stuff for him would be like Giallo or like Suspiria or films like that. But I would like to see Francis Bacon do Silence of the Lambs.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I mean, I just pulled them up on Instagram, which was here the Measure of Excess, some book cover, which kind of reminds me a lot of Buffalo Bill.
Yes, I'm telling you, like his stuff is very visceral. You see, there's all his portraits and stuff, and I think him doing Silence of the Lambs would be the greatest Silence of the Lambs poster.
But also, I'll give you another. He would probably do really good with. It would be Soul.
Soul.
In terms
Pixar
of
Soul.
yeah, looking at the souls that in the great before they are who they are.
Yeah.
You know, like you cannot identify or looking at this kind of beings that are the managers of this world. I think he could draw that.
He could. They'd frighten all the kids, but apart from that, I think he could.
Yeah, it's the adult. It's the R-rated poster.
The R-rated Soul version of Soul. Yeah. And then I'm a huge fan of 70s sci-fi art. Paul Lair, John Harris.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see Paul Lair do like Blade Runner. I think that would be magical.
Okay. By the way, you have signed up for something right now. I'm telling you what it is.
Yeah.
By answering this question, you will have to be part of my book. And you will have to do Silence of the Lambs by Ignatius Fitzpatrick, aka Francis Bacon. Do a Silence of the Lamb in the style of Bacon.
Okay. I love that challenge. Yeah, because if I was to do Silence of the Lambs, it would be in Francis Bacon style. No, I wouldn't ape Francis Bacon, but that would be the look I'm going for. So yeah, I'm on for that definitely. And Soul in Ignatius Fitzpatrick would be awesome. So yeah.
So definitely, that's what I'm going for. This is the book idea I had. I teased it a couple times, or that I want to do it, and I'm talking to Mondo, see if they want to put it out, or somebody else who is interested in doing this book. And it's going to be about all the artists that have been on the podcast and answer this question, that they are going to do their answers in that style and do the movie poster they talked about.
Awesome. I like it.
So yeah, I'm still like, my favorite example is Oliver Barrett. He said he wanted to do some Cubist. I forgot who it was, but some Cubist painter, and he was going to do Mad Max Fury Road. It's just going to have multiple different brown colored squares on it, just to make up this one. So
love it. Well, everything Oliver does is gold, so I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the idea. So glad you're on board with that. I'll see how far I'm going to get this year, and to make this into reality and have you on as well. So that's going to be very exciting.
Cool. I'm in.
All right. Last but not least, I want you to give some tips for the beginners out there. Is there any hardware, software, utensils, social media strategies that people should look out for?
Well, I'm the last person they should ask about social media strategies, because I have not mastered that myself. In terms of software and all that, don't spend a huge amount of money starting out. Like if you can get kind of skeleton packages, like I think if you get Creative Cloud, but like just get Photoshop or something, if you want to make the start, you're going to need to not spend a huge outlay at the start, but you're going to need to learn them. You're going to need to learn Photoshop, Illustrator. An iPad is amazing for drawing, using Procreate and stuff, but that is a big outlay. Like the only bit of advice I can ever give is practice and make tons and tons of work and put it out there, and never worry about engagement, social media engagement. Never worry if something only gets 2 likes, because it's not about how many people like it, it's about who likes it. And you just keep plugging away and keep practicing. And like anything else in life, the more you do it, the better you get at it. Um, and you'll find your own voice, your own way of working. The work you do put out will be more distinctive. It will look like you. That takes a while, but it happens. And just if you're starting out and you want to be an illustrator, a commercial illustrator, or a poster artist, or whatever it might be, you just start making the work and putting it out and working your butt off to get better. That's it.
That's it, people. You heard it here. Not first, but you heard it here.
And don't give up. Never, never, never call it quits, because it does get hard. But
It does.
You got to power through those times.
Yeah, I know that feeling as well. Okay, so I want to give you the chance to shout out some fellow artists, if you like, your family, other friends, whoever you want. It's your time. There's no time limit, so you can shout out whoever you want and whatever you want. So
Well, I tell you, I won't list off people, because I always start to panic then that I've forgotten someone really obvious.
that's the cheat. What Eileen invented this cheat. She was the first one to do it, and she was like, "Yeah, well, follow me on Instagram because I shout out people there."
Yeah. Very good. And then you have a bit of time to list them all. No, like among artists, the community thing in poster is incredible, right? Collectors, but also among the artists, like we're all mostly good mates. We all chat with each other. We have a private group on Facebook we've been in for ages. We all get on great, even though, like we were talking about much earlier, a lot of us have never met face to face, or at least I haven't met them, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thought bubble. So like a shout out, I guess, to all my fellow poster artist buddies, and you know who you are, and a special thanks, I guess, to Matt Ferguson and James Henshaw of Vice Press and Joe at Bottleneck for showing. Those 3 guys have shown huge faith in me and continue to show huge faith in me. It means a lot. Peter Diamond, chat to most days. We critique each other's stuff and shoot the breeze, and he started coming into the poster fold sort of around the same time as me. He'd been working with Black Dragon a good bit longer, but we're sort of, we feel we're able to talk about things as we experience them at the same time. Yeah, like that's it.
Family.
My beautiful and amazing wife, Orla, light of my life, who is currently up at the house on a daily basis with 3 kids and a puppy. And she's also a teacher and is having to work from home, doing Zoom classes to her class while the other kids have Zoom classes with their classes. And the baby is screaming, trying to climb up on stuff he's not meant to climb up on. And the dog is pooping in the corner and weeing in the other corner. She is handling all of that while I'm down here in my little studio drawing pictures. So as you can imagine, she is to be sainted, and I love you and appreciate it. And my daughters, Holly and Chloe, my son, Fuelan, and yeah, that's it. Shout out, I love ye. And I'm really sorry that I'm not up there in the house helping out, that I'm down here drawing pictures.
Yeah, but they can watch it now. That you're sorry.
Damn it! Forgot about the video.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, let's hear it. Where can people find you? I mentioned already the Facebook group, Fans of Matt Griffin. Check it out there. And on the social medias, what's your handle?
So on Instagram, it's Art of Matt Griffin, which I believe is on screen. On Twitter, it's Matt Griffin Art. So I know it's confusing, but I haven't managed to get the same one across all of them. Facebook, I've also got an Illustrator page, but they're shit, so don't bother looking at those. Nobody sees the posts you put on them. The group is the place to be on Facebook. Fans of Matt Griffin, Art of Matt Griffin Instagram. I also have a Discord server now, which is really cool. It's called Art of Matt Griffin as well. Whenever I post links out to it, I forget that they expire, these invite links, after 24 hours or something. I don't know if you can search for a Discord server and try to join, but we're building up a really nice community there, and people are starting to chat amongst themselves, and that's not just me posting my work. So That is definitely kicking off. And there's 2 places where you can get pre-sale links for APs, and that is my fans of group on Facebook, and now also we'll have a small allocation for the Discord server folks. And there's hidden channels in the Discord for exclusives and works in progress and stuff that you can only access when you get to a certain level. So there's a bit of game involved in the Discord server too.
There you go.
And then keep your eye out on this new fantasy world project that myself and Tom are bringing you, because I'm very excited about that.
All right.
I don't know what it's going to be on. That's up to Tom.
Yeah, it's gonna be on for now. It's gonna start out on the YouTube channel here on DropMac, and yeah, just we will post it in the groups and on the Discord and everywhere when it's going live for the first time. So stay tuned. It's probably gonna be in 2 or 3 weeks, so not that far away when we hit it off.
Excellent. Working title is Goblin Spit.
Goblin Spit. That's
working title.
I'm loving it. This could be an actual title. I still love it.
We'll see. I do kind of like it.
Okay, people. Thank you so much for stopping by, Matt, and thank you so much for viewing and listening to this podcast episode. And I'll see you next week when it's going to be release time again with James. And if you have questions or if you want something that we should include in the show, let us know. And stay tuned. Take care, guys.
Bye.